You're speaking from real honesty and from diplomacy and from care and from compassion.
Right.
And then also with the reality is that I don't expect you to love my children. I'm the only one really who will love my children the way I would love my children. So, you know, if it's almost in script writing, you know, when she says this, what do you say? I don't like to put the word script on it, but a response that will take care of and answer the solution and really move forward rather than going back and being part of the struggle, being part of the challenge, being part of the ongoing conflict.
I think that one of the things that the couple,
because there's so much.
There's so much. There's so much, and you know, and there's not an easy answer because depending on the ages of the children you come in, it really makes a difference. When the kids are home and they're little and you're doing some of the parenting, you have to be there as a step-parent to run the rules of the house. But the couple's ability to talk about these things when the step-parent feels like the outsider and the biological parent feels caught in the middle, because the biological parent is always going to feel defensive and protective of their children. It's very primal. We all do it. I do it. But catching that and watching it, because if you watch it, it's happening all the time. So if I'm always defensive about my daughter, if he says anything, then I'm not a partner to him. And so one of the things is to be able to know the dynamic and communicate about it. That's really important.
The nuclear family is the two of us.
Yeah.
Well,
putting the couple relationship first. Yeah.
That's what. And how do you do that? How have you put the couple relationship first? What are some of the specific things that you could tell the viewing audience that you do that really solidifies, really bonds you together as?
I think I can react to that. One of the most important things that we did is we established house rules. So Susan never had to discipline my children. She never said, you can't do that. She could say, our house rules say you can't do that.
This is very, very logical, common sense, and important. Very well done. So house rules, number one.
Yeah. Don't, if you're the step, do not discipline those children.
Correct.
You sat down and set the house rules. Okay, so having said that, what's another thing to do?
Well, when you set the house rules, you talk about it together. You know, he and I talk about it together. What's acceptable in the house, what isn't acceptable in the house. But then the biological parent has to be the enforcer. And where couples will get into trouble is when the biological parent relegates that role and doesn't do that role. In my case, I didn't have to worry about it. But don't forget, we had teenagers, you know, and that was very different. That's one of the times that the literature will say, don't get involved. But not me, no. Well, it's bad for the teens.
We believe you. Yeah. Everything you say is going to work. Is going to work.
Trust me. But it's hard on the teenagers too, because teenagers are individuating. How many teenagers do we know that think their parents are the people they want to be around the most?
Oh,
none.
Right. None.
Or want another parent.
Or want another adult telling them what to do.
I don't know. The myth is, you know, love conquers all. You know, we're in love. Let's do it because everything's going to work out. That is the biggest myth, because obviously the deck is so stacked against you. It truly is.
You start off thinking we're in love and it's magical and nothing could go wrong, and the kids like you at the beginning and you like the kids, right? You think everything's going to go great. And if you don't know that step families go to 2-3 points of turbulence in a step family development, and some never develop into a family system at all. If the kids are older, they rarely develop into a family system. If you don't know that it's coming, you're going to be broadsided. And when you're broadsided, you're going to think you failed.
Well, I like the fact that initially you're setting the house rules. And then how about number two? Because this is great. House rules, and she doesn't have to actually get involved at all.
That's right.
Okay.
I'd like to see something from the male side of this. I think that there are a lot of men that remarry and they have children. And they remarry somebody that they truly love, and she's so much better than their ex-wife and all that kind of thing, that they think they're giving their kids a new mother. And see, that's ignorance. Okay.
This is really laying the cards on the table, Rex. Okay.
Oh, I know.
No,
but this is exactly what we need.
My father used to say there's a very thin line between ignorance and bravery. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of people enter into these kinds of relationships and they think they're brave, but they're really being ignorant. If you know what the issues are and you have a plan on how to deal with them, and you can talk openly, and you really have good communication between the two of you, you can end up with a good life and possibly, in the long run, end up with stepchildren that like you.
And see, this is wonderful because you're providing a light at the end of the tunnel for this with your steps, with your education. So we're going to take, well, these thoughts, we're going to take a very short break.
Wonderful.
And we'll be right back with more with Dr. Swanson and Dr. Swanson. Thank you so much.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Welcome back to Family Focus. Our very special guests today are Dr. Susan Davis Swanson, who's the Executive Director of the Step Family Center, who works with couples who are remarrying but bringing children from previous relationships. And being very, very successful. And her wonderful husband, Dr. Rex Swanson, who is actually the director now, the managing director of the Step Family Center. So this is really great because we are learning about what will work with a step family, specific things that will work, because as we said in the beginning of the show, 65% of couples who remarry, those marriages will end in divorce. This is a couple who truly is here today to tell us what works, what honestly works. Okay, so the first part of was to then set house rules. And the second one...
Because if you don't have a plan coming in, you're going to start being broadsided. So this gives you a plan of action. And the other one is to have the communication tools. It's amazing how couples will divorce and they've had bad communication skills with their first marriage and maybe all their relationships in between, and they'll use those same really bad communication skills in a new relationship and expect it to work. There's so many ways to learn about good communication skills. And when you use them in your couple relationship, you're going to have a stronger couple relationship.
Could you give us a quick example right now of bad communication? Maybe do a little bit of...
You know, I'm really sick of your kid and the way she leaves everything around the house. I'm really tired of it, and I want you to go tell her to stop it, because I'm sick of it.
I'm not going to do that. That's my kid.
That's bad communication skills.
Okay, change it to good.
You know, honey, I'm really having trouble with her leaving all the stuff in the kitchen, and I don't know what to do about it.
Well, let me go talk to her and see what I can do.
Oh, my goodness.
Completely different.
Completely different. I noticed also that you're using I messages, like I'm really feeling, and then you're also on board with, I'm going to help you out. Let me go take care of it. Because,
and that's the thing, is to help each other be successful in the step family, because it's easy to get into the camp where he defends his daughter, and I think she's, you know, awful because she's being a teenager.
The other half of my role in that, on the good communication, is I don't go to my daughter and say, Susan thinks you're a slob.
Yes.
And you need to clean up that kitchen so that she won't be mad at me anymore.
That's right.
Ah, okay. How do you go to your daughter then?
Go to her and say, you know, let's go take a look at the kitchen.
Oh.
You know, we never put up with this.
Wonderful.
Why is this happening?
Wonderful. So, setting house rules, effective communications that actually work, and I know that you are teaching this in the Step Family Center, which is so invaluable.
Yes, absolutely.